Hello everyone, welcome back to DSP versus the Internet. This is episode 23 for July 23rd, 2023. 4 parts down, 2 more to go. What I like to do around this time is to answer super member questions. If you are a super member of DSPReacts, you have the ability to ask me a couple questions that I will answer in a lightning round style here on the show once a week. And so we have 3 people who took advantage of that this week. Let's jump right into them. First question. Greetings, DSP. How do you like your shift to a new style of React content since the rebranding of this channel? What kind of things are your favorite subjects to react to, and what kind of stuff do you think users should submit more of? I also would like to ask you, would you be interested in the addition of time stamping to your reaction videos, whether you would like any help from the community doing so, as to make the videos you create more accessible to your audience? Okay, let's take these one by one. So how do I like my shift to React content? I enjoy it. I think it's good variety. Instead of it every single day being about me just playing games, doing other things has made it more interesting. I'll be honest, sometimes if I'm just playing video games, you can get burnt out on that. But having a session where I know today all I'm going to be doing is watching videos and interacting with those videos and talking about them is actually a breath of fresh air. I also do like doing long-form React events where we have a big topic that we're usually covering. I'm actually doing one of those next week. It's called The Dark Side of Machinima, talking about my 6+ years as a partner with Machinima Network. So I like that kind of stuff. Now, admittedly, at a time of the year when there's a lot going on, there's a ton of new releases, sadly, I do feel like doing the React content can cut into the time we have for gaming. But I've liked operating this channel this year. It's also allowed me to branch out and bring back reviews. Remember, I now do like movie reviews and TV show reviews, which is nice to do variety like that. So it's been good. I've had a good ride. Now, is it insanely profitable? No. Is it insanely popular? No. But it's fun to do, and I think it's worth the time. Like, I would say, overall, because of the amount of members that I have on this channel, it's viable. If I didn't have the members I had on this channel, it would not be viable. But the fact that I have as many members as I have make it worth my time to do, you see? So thanks to those who've become members, and please consider it. So what kind of things are my favorite subjects to react to? You know, I don't have a favorite. I like variety. I like knowing that one week I will watch a certain kind of video, and the next week I won't watch one like that. It's all different videos. And then sometimes I like it when we have a video that we liked a lot, and we go back to it in a month or two, and now we get kind of refreshed on that topic. It's kind of neat. But I don't think particularly I have a favorite. I'll tell you this, I do think some of the stuff that goes over my head are internet memes and you know, viral videos from other social media sites and shit like that. Sometimes I just don't get them because people are into shit that I'm not, and that kind of goes over my head. But stuff that's pertinent, like today we're watching stuff about video games, we're watching stuff about the nuclear bomb, now that Oppenheimer, the movie, just came out. That's cool. That's timely, pertinent stuff, and I'm glad that people submitted that kind of stuff. So, would I be interested in timestamping to my reaction videos? Sure. In fact, some people have started doing that. They've actually started leaving comments on the video saying, hey, I used AI and AI timestamped your video. Here's the timestamps, and I approve those comments. Go for it. You know, I don't have the time to rewatch every single video I put out in real time to timestamp. I just don't. But if you guys wanted to do timestamps in the comments, I'd be willing to do that. Okay? Cool. What are your thoughts on a vegan-only edition of Feasting with Phil? It certainly would be viable because where I live in the Seattle area, there's a ton of vegetarian and vegan cuisine out here. I'm not against it. At the same time, my wife and I usually don't eat vegan, so we wouldn't even know like where to start. Like, what would be a good place to go to for vegan food? You know, would it be good? I wouldn't be against it, but you know, I guess we'll have to see. Is there a particular video or type of video that's been your favorite for DSP versus the Internet? I think I literally just answered that question for another person. Do you think Chris Benoit and his family were murdered? There are many strange things about that case. Yeah, they were murdered by Chris Benoit. He murdered them, and then he killed himself. This has been definitively proven by law enforcement investigation that that's what happened. There's no weird conspiracy theory. No one else went into the house and murdered the family. It was Chris Benoit. I just won a contest. The grand prize was $500,000 or a dinner with Jay-Z. I picked the dinner, obviously. I'm making that dinner a networking opportunity, as well as picking his brain as an entrepreneur. What should I ask Jay-Z at the dinner? You should ask him what he would do with $500,000, because you're never getting that money now because you're an idiot. So see what Jay-Z would have done with it if he had it. All right. Very nice. So there we go. And by the way, while I was answering those questions and not looking at stream chat, of course, you know, so 2 idiotic troll accounts were spamming the chat. I'll just take care of that right now, guys. And now we're going to get back to videos. There we go. Looks like we actually have 3 troll accounts. Let's get rid of all of these. Alright. Alright, I think I got rid of the spam. It was like 3 idiots spamming the chat nonstop. I took care of it. Alright, ladies and gents, it's time to continue on with more video reactions. Let's see what else you guys had in store for me this week. Thank you to the members who nominated these videos. Here we go. Don Finucci says, Hawaiian cuisine is huge in Seattle. Can you try that? We have. I've already tried Hawaiian cuisine. We did, what was the barbecue that I did? I want to say I did pulled pork, or slow barbecue pork, as well as chicken. And I had the macaroni salad. We did that already. And it was absolutely delicious. It doesn't look very appetizing. When you eat it, it's insanely tasty. Like, Hawaiian barbecue is super duper good. Okay. PBS Digital Studios, what's this?
These days, it seems like everyone is making money on the side. Your brother drives for Uber, your mother rents out your old room on Airbnb, your sister sells candles that smell like your grandma, and your grandma is running a quilting blog.
Almost 44 million Americans are reported as having a side hustle. Now, most people start them for one of 2 reasons. 1, they want to make more income, or 2, they want to start carving a path out of their current job.
A side hustle can definitely help you achieve these goals, but not without proper research and planning.
So, a side hustle, I would compare this to when I had my 9-to-5 office job, which really in reality wasn't 9 to 5. It was more like 8 to like 7, even though they claimed it was 9 to 5. You know, when you're on salary, you're kind of forced to work whatever they want you to work, okay? And basically my YouTube hobby, which is exactly what this was when I started in late 2008, this was a hobby, and I did it for about 2.5 years until around early 2011, and that's when I was really trying to actively monetize it. So for 2.5 years, YouTube would have been considered my side hustle, while my office job was my main living, you understand? Today, YouTube is now my main job, and I've been doing it very, very happily for over a decade, which is awesome, right? But all right, let's see what they have here.
So here are 5 things you need to know to make sure that your side hustle won't be hustling you. Number 1, do market research. This is Jenny. Jenny wants to quit her job and work for herself selling sweaters for hedgehogs. After all, she's a member of the 20,000 strong Facebook group, Hedgehogs for Life. If just 10% of those people bought a $30 sweater, that's $60,000.
That's a nice dream, but before she starts knitting, it's time for a reality check.
Right.
Are there people out there who are currently making money at a venture like this? According to one study, 85% of side gig workers make less than $500 a month. Airbnb has one of the highest average profits of $924 a month. Uber comes in at 4th at $364. And Etsy, where Jenny's hedgehog sweaters will probably end up, is number 7 at a measly $151 a month.
Maybe Jenny should sell a more established product, like supplements or makeup with one of those network marketing companies. After all, she's got Facebook friends who are always looking for new recruits.
If you're considering joining up with a network marketing company, be extra cautious. According to a government study, only 1% of network marketing participants actually turn a profit.
Oh, wow.
Now, by law, these companies have to share some of their financial data with you, like average income. Before diving into a new venture, you should seek out every piece of information you can get your hands on that will give you some idea on how much you can realistically expect to make.
This is absolutely correct, because so many people, right, they see the one exception, the one person who's like the ridiculous success story, and they say, I want that to be me. And as good as it is to aim high with your goals in life, you have to be more realistic and understand that not everyone's going to be the one exception, crazy breakout. Right? How many people look at YouTubers and say, I want to be just like this very prominent YouTuber? Well, guess what? For every prominent YouTuber, there's probably about 10,000 not prominent failure YouTubers who tried to do it and couldn't do it. You understand? You know, me, I'm incredibly lucky. I was in the right place at the right time. I was doing everything differently than other people at the time on YouTube. I broke out, became very popular. And to this day, I remain popular with a very focused group of people. But I am the exception to the rule. If you tried to do what I'm doing today, you would fail. Seriously. I'm only really successful because I've been around for so long. I'm a staple in a lot of circles. Yes, I'm both famous and infamous, and that's why I can still do what I love for a living. Not many people can do that. You understand? A lot of these people have to do it completely differently than the way that I did it. So that's why when people say to me, what's your advice, how that you're continually successful? I can't even give you advice because if you did what I did, it won't work. That was something to work, for 13 years ago, not today.
Number 2, track your costs.
Oh, very important
This
as well,
is
yep. You gotta be certain that what you're doing isn't more expensive than what you're gonna make for doing it, because a lot of people don't do that. And in addition to that, the funny part about that is some people then later on, for tax purposes, don't even realize what they can and can't write off because they're not paying attention, which is awful. What's the point of starting your own online business if your costs are so high, you're going to end up not making profit at the end of the day, right? There's no point to doing it then. It's a complete waste of your time, right? Okay. By the way, I see a lot of idiotic trolls in the chat today, and obviously, guys, I apologize for that. I do my best, to take care. And by the way, I can see that there's a lot of assholes here. I was going to take care of this guy, too. I apologize because basically what happened is today we got this one idiot coming in with like 10 or 20 clone accounts and just being a moron in the chat. So, use a separate bank account. Yes, that can be very helpful. Set aside taxes. We already talked about that. All right, let's just go to the next video. It's a pretty boring video, honestly.
Well, hello. I'll have sashimi, and the lady will have the broccoli chicken.
Yes.
I'm hungry, damn it. Hey, what the? Hey, Don King. Nice haircut. When did we enlist? Hey, watch it. I wish these stars looked more realistic.
What's funny about this is Gex, but as a 90s Saturday morning cartoon, you can tell they're making it try to look like it's old animation, but it's not. You can tell this is modern animation that they added a filter over, right?
Oh, yeah.
Anyone ever played Gex back in the day? I know what it is. I don't know if I ever played it, though. The Dirty Double.
This for the 60s had run and hide. Of course, I'd have sideburns and bell bottoms. When they say olive drab, they mean drab. Yeah, this place has all the warmth of a Dick Clark special. Who's it? Uncle Herman, you promised you went off the sauce.
This is a 90s cartoon. This is like a Scooby-Doo from like the 70s that we're watching right now,
Can I talk
right?
to you when you're like this?
All right, Derek, I'll see you later.
Why am I in the mood to mercilessly beat an LA motorist? Hey, watch it, Shorty. Breads.
That's the villain of Gex? I don't even know. There's no legs. The hell?
Well, it worked for Douglas Fairbanks.
And here was what the credits would look like. Yeah, the credits of all 90s cartoons have looked like that too, like a still frame with the music playing over it. Alright, let's continue.
Well, here's how I feel about the spaghetti companies that put sugar in their sauce. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. They can use one whole onion, mash it, grind it up, and put it in the sauce, and you've got plenty of sugar. Pay attention to Mrs. Bonanza. And you...
Mrs. Bonanza. Mrs. Bonanza. Wow, she sounds very Italian. No, actually, in reality, in my family recipe of Italian marinara sauce, you do put some sugar in. Not a ton. Like, when I was making it, I put way too much in. It was too sweet. But you do. And by the way, you put onion in it. You put garlic in it. You put all those things in it. And then you put a little bit of extra sugar in it. So, anyway. Top 10 douchebags in gaming history from when ScrewAttack.com used to exist. I used to watch these videos back in the day all the time. I really did. I liked all the content that was on ScrewAttack.com back in the day. I thought they made great countdowns of videos. in addition to being the place where they house,
You ever
like,
met a dude you just didn't
you know,
like?
angry video game
You don't
nerd
really
and
know
other
why.
stuff.
You just don't.
Maybe it's something they do, how they act,
Pro
or you
Jared.
just find them annoying.
That's
but
Pro
anyway you
Jared's
slice
voice.
It, you just don't really like them. They're just douchebags.
So we've glanced through the video game world and found those that just whip us into submission, whether we know why or not. Hey,
Or is it? Maybe that's not. Maybe that's Craig. I thought that was Pro Jared for a second. I can't put my finger on whose voice that is.
I'm Stuttering Craig.
No,
And I'm Handsome Tom.
For ScrewAttack's
oh,
top
it's
10
Craig and Tom.
douchebags.
Oh my God, this is before Handsome Tom quit. This is really old. This is when before Handsome Tom quit the site because of money issues.
Number 10.
Oh, be me, Wario. I am your master. Mario is your enemy.
Ever since this guy came on the scene, he's bothered me. I don't know why. His snarl, his voice, his obvious cookie-cutter reversal of Mario to be a bad guy, it just doesn't sit right.
A fringe character most of his career, Wario is best known for the WarioWare series.
By the way, I mean, a lot of credit has to be given to ScrewAttack. Back in the day, they were innovating this kind of video. Like today, top 10 countdowns are insanely prominent throughout the gaming community. Back then, they were new. Like, ScrewAttack was one of the online businesses, content creators that were doing this regularly. And people liked that. You know, look at the quality. It's good video editing and everything, right? It's done pretty well. You know, back in the day, it was great content for that time period. It really was.
And helping people look like total jackasses. Unless you're a girl. WarioWare, love that game. The yellow overalled anti-hero's antics are best used for games of drunk Nintendo. Awesome.
Passes out.
How can the Man of Steel make a list about douchebags? It's not so much about what he does. I mean, he's the ultimate hero. It's about what he doesn't do. Most importantly, make a good game.
Ta!
Out of the countless number of games made about the comic book cash cow, there may be one or two that might be worth turning on, but those don't make up for the bastardization of a game called Superman 64.
Ta!
It doesn't matter if the games were made by Taito, Midway, or EA, they just sucked. It's not your fault, Superman, but in the gaming world, you're just a douchebag.
Alright, so I mean, that's a blast from the past. It's funny because people were like, this is back when they were good. I mean, yeah, you're right. This is back when they were actually really good. They made so much gaming content. I would say these countdowns were some of their best stuff. They did like vlogging stuff and comedy skits too, and I didn't really like that stuff as much. But the daily countdowns that I used to watch when they did Hard News, their gaming daily news show, that I really enjoyed as well. But some other stuff I didn't like. You know, I only knew about them because they were in cahoots with the Angry Video Game Nerd. I knew about the Nerd, and that's what let me know about them, and started watching their content. Remember, way back in the day, I went to a MagFest event and I hung out with those guys like the entire event and stuff. You know, it was pretty crazy. And you know, we all know now what happened. Basically, they went completely out of business due to insanely bad decisions by Stuttering Craig, who was running the business, and sold it to another company. And then they got liquidated. They got owned, basically. And, yeah. But we can go talk about that at a future date. We don't have to talk about that today. Let's continue.
God damn. The fuck? Did you shit in your fucking pants? God damn. What is that?
I don't know.
God damn.
God
Did you shit?
damn.
God damn.
Liquid ass prank on dad. Oh, that's what it is. That's what. So if you're not aware, all right. Basically, there's this thing you can get. It's a synthesized chemical that smells like feces, and it's hyper concentrated. And if you just like spray a little bit, it smells insanely gross. I know about this because back in the day, I used to have Sirius Satellite Radio, and there was a radio show called Bubba the Love Sponge. I know, it sounds really stupid. And the guy was kind of like a hick and from Florida, and he would do dumb pranks like this, so they would come in with liquid ass, they would spray it on people and shit. So that's how I know what it is. So this stuff, it smells like seriously bad, supposedly. It'll make you sick to your stomach.
What is that?
That smells just like fucking dog shit. God damn.
Is your stomach okay?
Man, it's still in here. That can't be the fart.
My controller batteries are low. I guess we'll swap this out right now. All right. Hold on. Again, another idiot. Wow, a lot of trolls today. A lot of morons. It's weird because they weren't here earlier. They all just, like, showed up in, like, the last 20 minutes. When I went to use the bathroom, they all, like, showed up on the stream. All right, hold on a second, everybody. What's funny is this video has 8 million views. Can anyone explain why?
You're still doing it?
Like, it's not even that. It's not even that funny. It's just, okay, it stinks. I get it. Like, why is this 8 million view worthy? I have no fucking idea.
We've all been guilty of biting our nails, but is it more than just a childhood habit? Hey there, viewers, and welcome back to another Bestie video. Nail biting begins in childhood, but there are people who are just not able to quit once they become adults.
I don't do it actively, but I do it unconsciously. Like, when I'm doing it, I don't realize I'm doing it. I usually have no conscious thought about doing it, and I'm doing it. And then I realize later, and then it sucks because I'll have, like, something wrong with my nail. I'm like, it's annoying. I'm like, ah, shit. Because I fucking bit it, you know?
Know that over 20% of the American population, mainly women, are chronic nail biters. When we think about people who bite their nails, we often think of them as being anxious, but science has something else to say. From being a perfectionist to deep-seated loneliness or lacking patience, in this video, we'll be talking about what your nail-biting habit can reveal about you. Stay tuned till the end, as some points may come as a shock.
I honestly don't think it tells anything. Like, for me, I'm not a nervous person, okay? I'm not particularly impatient. I'm not biting my nails because I'm bored or I'm waiting for something. You know, I'm certainly not lonely. Like, I have no idea. I don't think it means anything at all. I think some people look for, like, meaning behind things, like tics and stuff, and there might not even be one. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't particularly think there's any. You may be smarter. You may be impatient. You may help balance your, maybe a sign of nervous disorder, a genetic reason, obsessive compulsive behavior. You may not be happy with what? This is stupid. This is a stupid video. I'm scared. It's so dumb. History of animation. 10 minutes. History of animation. Okay. This video was made in 2015. All right. 1832.
Inspired by Faraday's wheel, Joseph Plateau in Brussels invented the phenakistoscope
oh yeah, I heard
in
about
1832.
This. You'd look through a slit in something, and it would make it look like it was animated when it wasn't. See, yeah, this is how you would see
demonstrates continuous movement for the first time.
Yeah.
In 1833, Horner invented the Daedaleum, later called the zoetrope or wheel of life. Here,
I learned about
the
this
phases
somewhere.
of
I don't know
movement
where.
Are
It might
also
have been
seen
college.
in the form of an infinite loop through the slits. We see an image, then no image, and then a slightly different second image, producing the illusion of movement in the mind of the viewer. In 1877, Emile Reynaud built his praxinoscope. We see the images in the mirrors. The function of the dark phase between the slits is taken over by the angle at which the mirrors are set up.
Look at that. Oh, that's cool. A sequence of photographs of a horse to see if all the legs lifted up off the ground. He then continued to photograph sequences of movement from humans and different animals. This was the first insight into how we move. That's fascinating. Look at that. A series of photographs. Steamboat Willie. There you go. Cell animation. Each frame of movement was drawn on a celluloid and then photographed with a multi-pane camera. The background is on a different layer than the characters, so they can change but the background stays the same. Many cycles are used. Steamboat Willie. The movement is comical but isn't realistic. It is widely recognized as the first synchronized sound cartoon. I didn't even know that. I didn't know it was the first synchronized sound cartoon. I thought it was significant because it was the first appearance of Mickey Mouse, but I didn't know that it was the biggest, like the first real cartoon. Huh. Wow. Rainbow Dance was created by Len Lai using direct animation. He drew and painted over existing footage, which is called rotoscoping. His work is experimental and not commercial. It pushed the boundaries of film and animation. Wow. Huh. 1936. Now we're in 1940. Norman McLaren used direct animation to create dots. He drew and painted on blank film. He times and designs the visuals to represent the sound. Yeah, each one is, look, it's timed with the sound and looks different for different types of sound. It's fascinating. Look at that. Scooby-Doo! Hanna-Barbera used limited animation to create their programs. Lots of cycles are used and the animation is choppy because it's cheap and fast to make. Drawings are done on celluloid, but the bare minimum is done in order to get the point and action across. Cost-effective techniques. Smears. Look at that. Looping cycles. Right, the background's the same background over and over. The power of suggestion. And so Disney was doing more elaborate stuff while they were doing more simplified stuff. I see. Disney were in their golden era creating beautiful feature films, right? This is totally getting claimed on YouTube. There's no way it's not. The characters are believable, they had life and imagination. They were still drawing on celluloid, but there was a lot more research done. Cool. Yeah, it's hilarious because right now what we're watching is Bambi and we're watching, what was that other one? The Lady and the Tramp. No exaggeration, the animation back then is better than today. Take a look at this single cell of Thumper, the rabbit, and look at all the detail. I mean, there's no lighting or shading, but look at all the detail, right? Take a look at modern animation today. It doesn't even have that. Today it's all computer generated with like no detail at all. It looks like shit. Even the frames of animation, there's way more frames of animation back then than there were today in most cartoons. It's crazy how animation back then was way more hard to produce, yet was better quality than what we're pumping out today. It's just out of control. I don't know why, why we even accept it. It's so inferior. Oh, Yellow Submarine. Cool. Cool Beatles movie. Yeah. A psychedelic style of animation. It's got cell, it's got rotoscoping. Stop frame cutouts. Direct animation on footage. Wow, look at that. That's cool. Alice using stop motion as a stop motion. Stop motion was popular for a while. I remember watching a lot of stop motion things when I was a kid. The doll is a puppet and photographing small different movements. Remember the Rankin Bass stop motion Christmas specials were incredibly popular, right? Like Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, all of those. I watched those all the time when I was a kid. Whoa, here we go. The Miyazaki movies. Studio Ghibli. Yep. Look at that. Disney moved on to 3D, they focus more on 2D. And man, did they excel at it, right? Studio Ghibli is great stuff.
Oh, I don't know.
Ah! Oh yeah, more stop motion for things like, what was this called? Wallace and Gromit. Yeah, Wallace and Gromit. That was great stuff too. I like Wallace and Gromit. And they went on to make a series of movies, right? Now we're at 2006. Holy crap, what a skit.
Be my imagination.
A Scanner Darkly. I remember this. I saw this movie. There's a reason I saw this movie. I can't remember why I had to watch it, but I had to watch it. A Scanner Darkly. So basically, it's real actors, and then they turned it into animation after the fact.
You shoot the actual film,
yeah,
and then we lock it, just like you would a normal
interesting
feature. And then we have to bring it into the animation process, and then there's a lengthy post-production process. In this case, it was 18 months.
Jane, Bob.
Bob's Burgers.
I'm not doing this.
Yes, you are.
No, oh my God.
He's really good. He's good.
Bob and Mini
He's
Bob.
not good.
I remember that
He's
episode.
Not good, Lynn.
He's good.
I don't know.
Jane.
What, Bob?
Lynn.
What?
Jane.
Lynn.
Lynn. I'm leaving.
Oh, he's so cute.
So, a software called Toon Boom. Where it was like a multi-plane camera. There are layers for each asset. It's the same as cell animation, but everything's done digitally on a computer.
It used to be on
Animators use drawing
paper.
tablets
Now
on
we're doing
screens
it
to draw
here
directly onto their
into this
computers.
program, and which makes the process a lot smoother. We're still doing the same job, still drawing.
Quicker and cheaper than traditional animation, but it doesn't completely lose the detail and charm. Alright, I don't really care about music videos. That was fascinating. I really liked that. That was a good video. I like seeing like the history of how things evolve. That was cool. Alright guys, if you can believe it, we're about at the end of the show. We got one more video left for DSP versus the internet, one more segment. I want to say thanks to everyone who has submitted videos for this week. And I'm excited to see what is next. So thank you all. Last part coming up, but in the meantime, thanks for watching. See you soon.